Evening boys and girls, and today I have been stuffed into a class 2. Yay! There's been overspill, whatever the hell you want to call it. Oh, again, I can't think of my words today. I don't know what's wrong with me recently. Oh, it's not really recently, is it? Basically, we've got 35 pallets to collect from somewhere, and that won't fit on a single decker, so I've been bunged into a class 2 to go and get it. So it's not class 2 in London like it was a couple of days ago, so sorry, you're not going to get any of that footage, but yeah, I've just got to go to Colchester, so not too far away really, and the seat is broken. It doesn't go up or down. So it's at its lowest setting, so I've kicked it back a bit, and I think today I'm gonna, like, you know, gangsta lean in it. But anyway, do my paperwork, sort all of that out. This is full with fuel. How's the AdBlue looking? The AdBlue's perfectly fine. If I go through the old startup checks, brakes are all right, clutch is okay, yeah, it's all lovely. Right, so on with the day. Well, I made it to my destination. Oh, the traffic was atrocious. It was horrible. It was not nice. But then such is life, especially going to Colchester. Too many people live in Colchester now, and the roads haven't been altered to take it. So it's always backed up, especially at school run and rush hour. But, well, never mind. Nice and easy. God knows what I'll have when I get back. I'm just waiting now for my load to be ready, because I'm picking up the remaining stock. The issue is that our class 1 is still sitting outside parked up. So I've been parked to one side, so I think they're going to get him in, load him and then load me. I really don't know how long it's going to be. I do know that this place does have a tendency to keep drivers these days. They never used to. So this could be fun. But oh dear, it's fun. It's all fun and games. My phone is going nuts. I'm glad I put it on silent before I started doing this, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different messages pop up from 4 different people. Oh dear. One of them's Bert, one of them's AFE, one's an actual email from AFE as well, and then another one is Simon, just confirming something. So it's all fun. I do love class 2s. I mean, what have I been doing today? 13.34 miles per gallon. Oh dear. 13.34 miles a gallon, eh? All because I'm empty. That's it. Because I'm empty. Once I get these pallets on me... Oh, there's movement. No, I got excited for nothing. Once I get these pallets on me, I'll be lucky to get about 9 miles a gallon out of this thing. These are slightly underpowered. Especially when they're loaded with heavy products, like I'm picking up from this place, they're slightly underpowered. Now, I was a very clever little bastard. Yes. When I did my intro bit, I stopped it recording, obviously, but I didn't actually turn it off, so the battery was dead as a dodo. Fortunately, I keep spares, and I was praying that I'd recharged it, because this is an old knackered movie K2, and I've got another one in it somewhere. Yeah, and this is another one of the knackered ones. This used to be my forward-facing one, hence the black tape. And I don't actually know if I'd already run a battery out and used the battery in this, because I knew one of them was charged, but this one doesn't do anything because it doesn't have an SD card in it, so that doesn't tell me a damn thing. But fortunately I keep spares for when I'm an idiot, because I'm usually an idiot. And one of them was charged, so when I get back I'm really going to have to just charge everything up, download all this. As you've probably told or can tell from the last one, I have 2 cameras looking at me. Well, I thought I've got the spare cameras, so I might as well try, and then I can change the angles and make it slightly more interesting, if not amazingly interesting for you to watch, because at least it's not just one camera angle all the time. It looks kind of more professional, I think. But I've noticed that the SJcam, one of the many SJcams I own, if I turn the microphone volume up, it's not that bad sound quality. It's still mono, because for whatever reason they've put the microphone behind the case and not really put enough holes in the case, so it's a very kind of mono sound. But it's not been too bad. It's been very easy to line things up, so I'm trying different things, because there's other things I want to do with YouTube and Simon and things like that, where I want to start getting used to using different angles. It's a pain in the arse to edit, and I did get something wrong in yesterday's, I say yesterday's upload, it wasn't yesterday's upload, it was the last upload, which I recorded yesterday. I didn't, using the SJcam, which had been sitting over that side, I didn't block out the number plate that was up there, but I edited it all into place, and then I had to go through each segment and block out the number plate. So you got a big block, a little block. I've never got the size exactly the same, so it's like, oh! And because of where I put it, as I moved in the cab, the camera itself moved, because I don't actually have the camera attached to anything. And so I had to start blocking out everything, because as the camera moved, it showed you other things, like the paperwork and stuff. I was like, ah. But I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. God knows how long I'm going to be here. It could be a while. But I've been reading various things online. I'll move along, you know. And it's, what was it? Hold on a minute. Tax break muted for landlords who sell to their tenants. And I always have fun when I read stuff like this, because I am Generation Rent, I am in rental. When I read stuff like this, I find it really fun, because you always get a few that turn around and go, that sort of tinkering will not solve the problem. In my day, house prices were cheaper, but then we had 15% interest rate. Most of my salary, I can remember giving up to 60% of my take-home salary just to pay the mortgage. It's all to do with priorities. That's perfectly fine. But what you seem to forget is that from 51, 61, 71, 81 and 91, the average house price was around 4 times. It went from, I think it was 3.7 if memory serves, up to 4.4. Again, if memory serves. I did look this up a while ago, but I never got around to doing anything on it. About 4.4 times the average single income. Okay, fine, brilliant, wonderful. But today, the average single property, or the average property I should say, sorry, the average property is 7.8 times the average single income. So where Matey Boy might have been giving 60% of his income to the mortgage, he had the second income of his missus, whatever it was. And 60% of his income allowed him to live. Whether it was a second-hand car or second-hand furniture, it allowed him to live. 7.8 times the average single income means I would quite literally have to give 90% of my income to the mortgage. And the only way I get it with a 4.5% or 4.5 times cap on income versus mortgage is if I use Bert's income as well, which is perfectly fine. But then I don't have a spare income. We don't have a spare income. We don't have money to put to one side for the rainy day. We can't afford luxury items like food, you know. And it's all well and good getting a second-hand car. Brilliant, excellent. I understand you can get a 600 quid car nice and tasty. Lovely. I've done it. But I do 30,000 miles a year. 600 quid cars are 600 quid for a reason. Now Bert's in a second-hand car. We don't know anything on that, because she doesn't do the mileage. If I didn't do the mileage, trust me, I'd have a second-hand car. I wouldn't be spending £3,600 a year on a new car before fuel. I spend about £3 in fuel. So I'm spending nearly £7,000 on a vehicle. And it's not a carbureted vehicle, I'll get my words out one day, or a mechanically injected vehicle. No, 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 no. I've got to have a computer degree to work out what goes wrong with it. And the other thing that nobody ever factors in, a little bit of a rant, I know, but the other thing nobody ever factors in is the fact that if I want to do something to my house, in order to maintain my insurance for said house, I've got to have a Corgi registered somebody sign off on it. So I've got to pay someone to come out and do that, which you never had to. Just saying. You could work on your cars very easily because it was front engine, rear drive mostly, mechanically injected or carburetted, so you didn't have to be a computer whiz kid to work on it. If you wanted to chase the electrics out and put them somewhere else, run this in, run that out. You didn't have to get it signed off by a Corgi registered person. Yeah, you could do it yourself. Same with your plumbing. Same with a lot of things. And wages haven't gone up. Even the government studies are showing that wages have not been rising as they should have been rising. Studies recently released say that the average wage today, and I'm talking average across the board, should be about £54,000 a year. Anyone want to guess what it is? 28,700. Yeah? So everything else has gone up. The cost of a car, the cost of fuel, the cost of food, cost of insurance. We all need insurance. If you're going to buy a house, you need life insurance. Buildings and contents insurance. Obviously, that's obvious. But everything's gone up. House prices have gone through the roof. Do you see what I'm getting at? I actually think the whole give the landlords a tax break for selling to the tenants is actually quite a good idea, because the tax break is the landlord gets a tax break if half of the tax that they're being allowed to keep is given to the tenant to help towards a deposit to buy it. Now I think that's a bloody good idea. And a lot of people are going, oh, in my day, yeah. In your day, you had right to buy on your council house, numbnuts. Remember that. This is private tenants being essentially given the right to buy, assisted, but not a third of the market value. No, we're still paying market value. We're just getting half of the tax that would have been the capital gains tax that the landlord would have to pay. And we're not getting that property for a third of the market value. So, you know, be careful. And the best thing is everybody's saying how much their properties are worth. It's genius. It's absolutely fantastic. Because there's a house just around the corner from me. It's grade 2 listed, thatched. It's quite nice. It went on the market 18 months ago, I think it was now. 18 months, 2 years ago. And it was 650 grand. 650 grand. And today, it's still on the market, 575,000. So how much is that property worth, out of curiosity? Well, it still isn't sold at 575, so it's not worth 650, is it? But I guarantee, if you wanted to rent it, you'd be paying the equivalent rent of a 650 grand house, not a 550 grand house, which is most likely what it's going to sell for. You know, it's like the in-laws have had their house valued. The estate agent came round and said, I value this house at 425,000. If you put it on the market, expect to get 375 grand. Well, then it's not worth 425 grand, is it? Or is it? You see, if I wanted to rent that house, I'd be renting that house based on the fact it's 425 grand, not what it'd sell for, 375. It's a massive con. Properties have just been, they've been unrestricted selling them. There's been no real restrictions on it. So you can do whatever you want. Estate agents say, I'm going to charge 1% of the value of your house to sell it. So do they want to value your house at 500 grand or 700 grand? Remember, they're getting 1% of it. Yeah? It's just a massive con. It's been a massive rip-off for years. And the other thing is, all the people say, oh, well, in my day. Yes, but you're the twats that went round and bought all the other houses to rent them out to help your pension. I'm not as stupid as I look. Yeah? So, you know, sod off. I actually think it's a good idea. Because if that does happen, I know that my landlady is going through a divorce at the moment and she might be wanting to sell. And so if this does happen, well, you know, sod it, I'll buy the place. It's big enough to put an extra bedroom in, do a loft conversion. Everybody down my road's done that. So, yeah, I'd buy it. There's not much wrong with it. I mean, there's a couple of damp patches here and there. I know there's some lead missing around the corner of the roof, which is allowing, you know, moisture in, but it's not the end of the world. I've got enough friends in the building trade. But there we go. That's a little rant. You knew it was coming, and I will do another one in due course that goes into way more depth. And I'll probably have to go into depth in the comment section, because I know there's going to be a couple of dickheads who want to start going, well, in my day, blah, blah, blah. My dad's house has been on the market for 8 years. It's valued at 325 grand. He's going to be lucky to sell it for 275 grand. So what's it actually worth? What you sell it for? Yeah? That's what it's worth. Realistically, given average wages, that all house prices should drop by about 30%. Realistically. And that'd still be a struggle. But anyway, enough of that. I am now going to wait for them to load me. I'm going to respond to all of my messages. There's another one come through just as I picked that up. Bloody hell. Okay, that's Simon again. Fair enough. So, on with the day. That screwed continuity, didn't it? If you hadn't guessed, I'm in a class 1. Oh, that's more like it. Oh. And I've just had to wait 1, 2, 3, 4 hours for my last load of the week. Don't you just love it? But yes, I've got down here and I was early, and they're tipping me instantly. Which is a bonus. And I can, because my car is at the depot, not the we have two places. We have the yard where all our vehicles are usually stored, refueled, cleaned, and we have the depot. And because I was in a class 2, that's where the class 2s are kept, at the depot. I had to leave my car at the depot, so I'm going to keep saying depot. I'm just going to say depot, 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 depot. But anyway, I had to leave my car there, so I get to leave this, because this wasn't my unit, and it's got straps and an empty box, a monster down on that floor, just mud and grit and grime everywhere. So I get to leave it in the state I found it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm leaving it at the depot. I'm getting my car. See, I said depot again and again. And driving home and having my 2 days off. Yeah. And Bert has got the bit between her teeth about looking for another property, another place to live. Got to have 3 bedrooms now, you see. Just as I'm getting on top of my finances, we've got to move. So I'm going to have a look, because it's only 20 minutes away from where we are now. I'm going to have a look at Haverhill. See what I can find around that manor. See what there is. So tomorrow we're going to have a look at that. And Wednesday I'm going shooting with an old college friend of mine who supplies some of the wood for Bert, and when she wants to do her woodwork, arts and crafts, make clocks, that kind of thing. So got some clay pigeon shooting, some skeet shooting to do on Wednesday. I haven't been shooting for years. What is it, 2.5 years? I think the last time I used a gun. I'm not going to be able to hit a barn door. But anyway, I'm going to let them unload me. I'm going to end my day here, because like I said, this wasn't my unit, and I'm in and out of it. I'm doing this delivery and I'm buggering off back and ending my day going home. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I'll get a handle on using 2 cameras in due course, and I won't be flitting between them as quickly as I was earlier. Although I might do, I don't know. I might use that whole 20 seconds rule, you know, no more than 20 seconds on a single shot. I don't know, I might do that. But anyway, like I said, cheers for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, all the usual crap. Links are below as always. And if you're looking in the Haverhill area, the Essex area, or the Hertfordshire area, and you want to be agency, have a look at AFE, won't you? Click on their link in the description below and see what's going on. I've had a look on their website and it doesn't have half of the truck driving jobs that they've got. It doesn't even have this place listed on there. So, and I know that they're recruiting for drivers for this place at the minute, and they're recruiting for drivers for a place in Haverhill and a couple of places around Hatfield where I am at the moment. So I can't find any of those jobs. So I'm going to have a word with them. But so contact them if you're looking for agency work. They're a relatively decent agency. I mean, I haven't had any qualms with them. Anyway, see you in the next one. Take care.